So I've been using the Google Pixel 4a for a little over a week now, and honestly, this is the first phone that has truly made me pause and just really think about why I am paying the money that I'm paying for true flagship devices out there. Are we truly getting what we pay for when it comes for the price, or is something like this that is just $350 good enough for most people out there? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Technically T hitting you with another video today, man. Now this video is going to be real simple. It's going to be kind of different, man. It's probably going to be just a talking video. I'm not really sure if I'm going to throw any B-roll or anything in there like that, man. But this is a topic that literally popped up in my head overnight, and I had to get it on camera to give my thoughts on it, to give my opinions on it. Now, before we get started, I want everyone to pause this video, comment down below, and answer this one question for me. What do you truly buy flagships for? Now, when I say flagships, I'm thinking about the top dog Notes, top dog iPhones, the top dog Galaxy phones, anything that's usually in that upper tier market. You know what I'm talking about, $1,000 and up. What is the true reason that you go out there and spend your hard money on those devices? So I'm definitely going to be reading those comments a little later on in the future, man, when this video is published. But the reason this came up to me, man, because if you guys didn't see my Google Pixel 4a, basically it was a first impression. I think a lot of people thought it was a review, but it was only a first impression. So now I'll make sure to link that above. But in the title, I asked, why pay for flagships? And I had one person comment this, and I'm not getting on that person, but this is what opened my eyes up to this whole video. He had basically said, because they're simply better. And I took that comment, and then that made me really think about it, because once again, this Pixel 4a has opened my eyes to really think about what you're paying for when it comes to a flagship. So let's break this down, because I think a lot of people are going to automatically say because of the features, because of the specs, because of what it offers. But let's break it down a little bit. Let's go from, you know, feature to feature. And we're not really going to get too detailed on the video, but let's just break it down, you know, display, sound, and different things like that. And let's just see, what are you truly getting for the money? So this is going to be an Android device, so I'm not going to compare it to an iPhone, but let's just take something like a Note series or S20 series, okay? Looking at the display. Now, of course, yes, the flagship models are going to have better displays, but think this for a second. A lot of us are becoming refresh rate snobs, which means we have to have the high refresh rate. So if you're a Samsung user, you are going to most likely use it in 1080p just so you can get that 100 or 90 hertz or whatever that they offer. So if you look at it in that point of view, this has a 1080p display, just no refresh rate. So how important is refresh rate to you? And to me personally, I don't care. Now, I'm not saying that everybody out there doesn't care about refresh rates. You may care about refresh weights. You may care about that way more than resolution. So that's just something to put in your perspective. At the end of the day, if you are a person who wants to run that high refresh rate, you're using 1080p. This is a 1080p display. $350 compared to phones that's over $1,000. Something to think about. Next up, let's talk about battery life. This one is really important. So taking those S20s and those Notes, you got big milliamp hour batteries. Now, I'm not really gonna get into the numbers, but you know, they're up there, man. 4,000, you know those milliamp hour batteries. Is it really yielding that much better performance over a $350 device? I'm getting I was getting 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, but now I can easily pull 6 hours of screen on time. And I can get just as good as battery life on the flagships as well. But once again, you're paying that premium price, and it's more about optimization that Google has going on with the 4a than what Samsung or anybody else, because they're still working on the optimization. So that just shows you that it's not about your super high milliamp hour batteries. It's about your processors and what you can do to actually put that on paper and deliver the all-day performance in these devices. So I ask you once again, are you truly getting that much more when you're talking about terms of battery life towards the price? Now, the next one is going to be cameras. Now, this can kind of go either way because it's really all personal preference on how you use your device. So are you a person who just takes stills, or are you a person that takes videos as well? And I'm definitely going to take Samsung on this one, because I feel like Samsung doesn't take the best video. The Pixel, in my opinion, doesn't take the best video. It's improved than previous models, but we all know Pixel isn't really known for their video. But if you put up stills cameras to a S20 or S20 Ultra or Note 20, even though we don't have all those in our hands yet, but just put a Pixel camera up against any flagship Android device, and I can probably guarantee you that the Pixel will come out on top. 350 bucks. No, you don't get all the wide angles. You don't get all the macro, the super zoomed in. You don't get the telephoto zooms. Those are real good selling things. Now, there's one camera lens that I can kind of agree with that people use, and that's going to be the wide angle. But I'm going to keep it 100% honest with you. I've been having wide angle cameras on my phones for a very long time, and I can probably count the times that I've used actually wide angle on one hand. I just need a single camera to get it done. And that's why Google has knocked it out the park with this phone, because they didn't give you any of those gimmicks, man. They give you one lens that gets it done. So this is again why I asked, man, $350 compared to $1,200 what are you truly getting that's that much better? And the next one we got to talk about is the processor. Now, I was one of those people, just like I said in the 4A first impressions, I always needed the best flagship. I always needed whatever the latest Snapdragon was when it came to an Android device, because when you get a more budget or mid-range Android device, you can kind of tell that it has a lesser processor compared to flagships that's out there on the market. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, this thing right here has a Snapdragon 730 and it does everything that I need it to do. We have to be realistic. I mean, what truly do we do on our phones? Most of us just browse social media, send emails, send text messages. You might do a little bit of video calling nowadays in the quarantine, but you really have to ask yourself, are you putting that much into your phone where you need 12 gigs of RAM? This thing has 6 gigs of RAM and it hasn't slowed down on me one bit. You have phones that's coming out with 16 gigs of RAM. Truly, are you using your phone that much, that $1,300, $1,200, $1,100 phone that much to get the true potential out of all of that RAM that they're jamming into it? These are key questions that you need to sit back and ask yourself. Why are you spending a lot of this on flagship phones? Now, we can kind of go ahead and wrap it up right now, man, because I'm not getting into too many aspects. Those were the most that I wanted to touch on. We could talk about build quality, but once again, that's going to be kind of subjective. I don't really care about build quality like that, because most of the time a case is going to be on my device. Everybody said they want a glass back, they want this back, when 99% of the times most people run cases on their phones. So I feel like that's a moot point for me. And I would honestly, to be a buck with you, I probably would take this plastic design over something like glass, because just when you're talking about dropping it and breaking it and things like that. But so the whole point of this video really isn't to like big up the Pixel. Don't think that I'm on this team Pixel wave just because they sent it to me. But this phone for $350 is a very, very good phone. And it just had me thinking about, why do we spend so much money on flagships, and are we truly getting that much more in them to justify the cost, man? It's trying times out here, and I feel like Google knocked it out the park. And to be 100% honest with you, man, I was watching a live stream the other night, and somebody said that the Google Pixel 4a could potentially be the phone of the year. And I 100% agree with them, because it really shows you what you can do in a body that's $350, and it has what it has, it uses what it uses. It just gets it done for the bare minimum. So that's why I pose that question to y'all, man. What makes you truly go out there and buy a flagship device? Because honestly, I really feel like the price difference between this Pixel and the major flagship is greatly, but when you're talking about performance, it's not that far off. So this is just a quick discussion video, man. Like I said, I'm keeping it plain and simple. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to get into more of these, but when it's topics on my mind like this, I just want to get in front of the camera, turn on, and just talk. No script or no bullet points or anything like that, man. This is just straight off the top of the head. But let me know. I really want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please leave a comment, man. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you like the video, and you already know, turn that sub on and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads, man. But technically, I'm about to get up out of here. Later.